Hi, it's John Hope Bryant, founder, chairman, and chief executive officer of Operation Hope. Operation Hope is the largest nonprofit financial literacy and financial inclusion organization in North America. We're also the gathering for the most prominent leaders in the world for the empowerment of the poor, the struggling class, and the struggling middle class every year around this time. It's called our Hope Global Forum annual meeting 2021. The theme this year is Meeting the Moment, which really describes my guest today extraordinarily well. I'm also an entrepreneur, which me and Harley share a passion for. So without further ado, I want to formally recognize somebody who's become a friend and not just a partner. Somebody who I think is extraordinarily cool, is authentic. So what you see is what you get. And Harley, combined with our other friends at Shopify, Toby I and Toby Y, he'll explain who they are maybe when he's describing a little bit about Shopify, and they're up from nothing story themselves. It's pretty incredible. By the way, the wealthiest company in Canada now, up from nothing at Shopify. But they made a $130 million commitment, a 10-year commitment last year at the forum to help Operation Hope create 1 million new Black businesses in America. And typically these announcements get made and folks just sort of drift on to something else. And unfortunately, years later, you find that very little came of whomever with the best of intentions made that commitment. It's been $50 billion of commitments, by the way, for social justice made by corporations since the unfortunate, tragic death, murder, some would argue, in the middle of last year, which started the social justice reckoning of Black America in this country, which is George Floyd. But Shopify is different. They're not just about PhDs, they're about PhDs too. So he's back. Harley is back 1 year later to report with me on the results of our startup year. Harley, welcome to the Hope Global Forum.
John, it's a great honor to be here, and thank you for being a great partner, but also for being incredibly inspiring to us. We really look up to you and all your folks and what you guys are doing. And so I'm glad to be back for a second year to the Hope Global Forum.
Deeply honored. You mentioned when we were off camera that we should probably start with the results. So I'm going to honor those watching by starting there. And I want to back up from there. And I want people to know your personal story, because oftentimes people presume that folks like you and I just showed up with everything we needed to succeed. That's not the case.
Not at all the case. Yeah. And in fact, where the Venn diagram of our lives sort of overlap is that you and I have both used this thing called entrepreneurship to improve our lives, to survive, to get through really, really tough times. And so, as your t-shirt says, entrepreneur, right across your chest, and right across my chest is also entrepreneur, because I think that it is the great equalizer. Before we get into sort of how we've done over the last year, let me just give a quick background, if that's okay, John.
Sure.
Yeah. So about just over a year ago, we met at an event, actually, and we talked about this idea of entrepreneurship. We had sort of this shared passion for entrepreneurship, and that it really is a path to independence. We also talked about the fact that entrepreneurship can be the great equalizer, and where more independent voices make entrepreneurship and commerce better. And that's why, I've spent my entire life trying to break down barriers to entrepreneurship. But the thing that we also agreed on is that it's not evenly distributed, that not everyone has access to the ability to start a business, to scale a business. And that first conversation was, we thought, well, what would it look like if we made starting a business a lot easier, a lot more accessible? And through that, we agreed that we should collaborate between Operation Hope and Shopify and work towards sort of the shared passion for helping underserved communities succeed. and to unlock what would you refer to as more economic opportunity for Black business owners across the country. And we sort of what we paired on, what we combined was our software and our resources with Operation Hope's reach. And what we tried to do is see what would happen from that experiment. And that experiment is now 1 year in the making. Again, we've committed to over $100 million worth of money, but also services to help with this. And so we've now seen thousands of Operation Hope signups. We've now seen a ton of businesses being created. Just before getting ready for this chat here, I just sort of perused the list of all the entrepreneurs or the aspiring entrepreneurs that became entrepreneurs through the 1 Million Black Business Program, 1MBB. And there are two, John, that I want to sort of talk about because I think they're really interesting. There's one created by a woman named Shayna out of Baltimore, and it's called Poor Pairings. I'm just going to give a shout out to it. I don't have any relationship to the merchant, but it's a really cool story, poorpairings.com. And what Shayna did was over this past summer 2021, she decided that she wanted to create this monthly wine subscription and create these wine pairing experiences. And she went on the 1MBB website. She signed up again this summer, and she's gone on to create a really amazing business in the last 3 months or so. So she used the Shopify software. She used the resources that Operation Hope has provided, and she's created a real business that I think will be around for a long time. And I'll keep checking back with Shayna and let you know how that's doing. The second one was a company called the Session Sense. Started out of Atlanta, and that started in May of this year. So we're only talking about 4 or 5 months. And now Accession Sense, so the accessionsense.com is now up and running. It's a great business. They do high-end luxury scents and perfumes. And again, these are businesses that may not have existed if it wasn't for the work that we've been doing together. And I think ultimately what you and I are trying to do and what this program is trying to do is change the cadence of entrepreneurship, make it easier for anyone that has an idea to build a real business. And maybe that business goes on to become a Fortune 500 and go public, or maybe that business is just a way for them to support their family, support their community. I think that's the best part of entrepreneurship, that everyone is allowed to find their own versions of success through that. And that's what this program is all about. The story of entrepreneurship is also my story, John. I mean, I was 13 years old, living in South Florida. My parents didn't have very much money, and I wanted to be a DJ. And nobody would hire me. And someone randomly told me that if I want to be a DJ, I can start my own DJ company. And I did. I didn't have any money, but I rented some equipment and I hired myself. And that's how I became a DJ. That was my first time interacting and understanding what entrepreneurship is. 4 years later, I was in Canada going to school. My dad was no longer around. My family lost all of their money. And once again, I pulled out this tool out of my tool belt called entrepreneurship. In this case, I started making t-shirts for local universities here in Canada. And again, I was able to survive, put food on my table, help my mom and younger sisters, and my dad wasn't around anymore. Entrepreneurship for me is not just this wonderful way to self-actualize, to find your passion. It's a way for human beings to survive whatever life throws their way. And what I love about this idea of entrepreneurship becoming more democratic is that it's now more accessible. If this was 50 years ago and we were trying to encourage people to start businesses, we can give them all the software in the world, all the training. We'd also have to give them an unbelievable amount of money, because the prerequisite to starting a business 50 years ago was capital. Yeah. Whereas now it's not. It's creativity. Resourcefulness is now more important than resources. And I think that is actually why there's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur. There's also never been a better time for us to have a program around creating 1 million Black-owned businesses, because now we actually can help all along the way. And it's not just the software. Yes, you're getting software from Shopify. We make it easy. But the training that Operation Hope is providing, the mentorship, showing all these different tools and best practices, this is going to lead to companies that we will look back on in a decade from now and say they were started through the 1MBB program.
Harley, I was doing the Roland Martin show, and when we first launched this, and some of the attendees were like, "This is too good to be true. This is an incredible program. Free Shopify account for 4 months, license, a website, domain name search, payment systems, delivery system support, I've already said payment system, a line of credit once you make your first sale available to you, all this financial coaching on the back end, business counseling, business training, entrepreneurship training, credit score training, all this stuff basically for free. Why are you doing this? What's the catch? And I said, the catch is, I paused, that Shopify wants you as a new customer. And I let that sink in. And I said, isn't that what you want? Like, you don't want a handout. You don't want a hand up. And they were like, yeah, that is what we want.
1MBB has been an incredible thing, but it's also influenced so much more inside of Shopify since meeting you, John. So for example, we've now curated Black business shopping lists inside the Shop app, which is an app that we created. It's a top 3 to 5 app in the shopping category across every single app store. That means that our employees at Shopify, but all consumers can now directly shop to support those merchants. We're creating on October 20th this event called Build Black, which is now an annual event where we interview merchants, Black-owned businesses and merchants, so they can share their experiences of being an entrepreneur with others. We also created new office hours with merchants individually, one-on-one, to help their business grow, and speakers and hosting events on both personal and business finance. So not only has 1MBB been an incredible program for encouraging more people to become entrepreneurs who otherwise may not and get to our goal of having 1 million Black-owned businesses by 2030. But there's all these residual impact and residual effects of how Shopify is now showing up in the world to say, we want to be the entrepreneurship company. The only way we can be the entrepreneurship company is if more people can participate in entrepreneurship. And that doesn't mean people that have business degrees or have people, parents that have money that can help them. It means everybody who has an idea should be able to commercialize that idea. Anyone that has a hobby that wants to make money from that hobby should be able to build a business around that. And that is sort of why, you talk about 2 + 2 = 6. That's a 2 + 2 = 6.
So we're trying to fix all of this through this model that hopefully other people will be inspired by. And here is an example of that inspiration. This is in one startup year. So here's Sabrina, 53-year-old African-American female. She's given us permission to tell her story. Raised 3 children in public housing. She was a victim of domestic abuse, predatory lending, and experienced homelessness. She said, thanks to Operation Hope and 1MBB and a coach named Antonio Lynch, who works for us, she now has a company that provides tax preparation, notary and notary signing agency, credit repair, and professional business solutions. She says her vision is to create an entrepreneurial training and development center located in a hub zone business district near where she lives. So she's paying it forward, serving low-income women who lack training and skills. So she's making her also rainbow after a storm, Harley. She also is coming through the pain and the struggle to create something larger and more important.
I think that what we are doing together, this mission of making entrepreneurship more accessible, of allowing people to find their own versions of success, whether that's paying for ballet lessons for their kids, or that's taking a company public and creating multi-generational wealth, which you and I never had. That's why we get up in the morning, and I'm so optimistic about what we're doing together, John. And honestly, it's been truly a great honor, not just to start working together, but to call you a friend and a mentor of mine.
I just love the way you lead, and
thank you.
I have a genuine love for the folks at Shopify, from the top to the bottom. You guys you've been absolutely consistent, and there's so many heroes and sheroes and entities who've leaned in. If you are a company who thinks that you can help create a Black business, Delta Airlines, there's so many, sign up. You want to create 200, or 2,000, or 200,000. We've got big government entities, I don't want to spoil it, who are about to lean in this effort. Companies, corporations, you can help, whether it's a time bank, whether it's committing to create Black businesses, mentoring, support, in-kind resources. I hear that big companies are about to provide accounting software, Harley, for every Black business, online accounting software for every Black business is part of 1MBB. We have our first entrepreneur in residence to mentor Black businesses as somebody who's created a company with a $50 million exit. So this is a new movement, and you can sign up and be a role model just like Harley has, and a symbol for hope. Number 2, if you're watching this and you thought that you couldn't become who you want to be, go to 1MBB. Luckily, you can type in the internet, just 1MBB will come up right away. In a year, we become a household name around the world. Type Hope 1MBB, go to hope1mbb.org and sign up. It's only going to cost you your time. It's free. It's free 99. It just costs you your time. Sign up. Give us a chance to either impress you or depress you. I think you'll be impressed. I hope you were inspired by this time.
By the way, let me just throw this out because you talked to this earlier. If I can be valuable to any of you that are watching, if I can help you with if you sign up and you want me to check out your online store and give you some feedback, I'm on Twitter at Harley F. Send me a note and say, hey, look, I just launched, or hey, I'm thinking of launching. What do you think about this? I think entrepreneurship is the greatest tool for equality, but also for humans to find their life's work. And I want to help. So not only is just Shopify want to help, but on a personal level, entrepreneurship has given me everything, and just like it has for John. And so let me know what I can do to help. But John, this has been an honor to be here today. And as you always say at the end of our phone calls, let's go.
Let's go. Let's build. And by the way, I just got a note that a fraternity is going to follow. Phi Beta Sigma made a commitment for 1,000 Black businesses. I got a note that a fraternity and a sorority is going to follow their lead. So even right now, we're inspiring people. Thank you for all you do, Harley and Shopify. Let's go. Let's launch.
Thanks, John.
As a result of the 1 Million Black Business Program, we've been able to grow and support aspiring Black entrepreneurs all over the country. We invited them to compete in a pitch competition sponsored by 25 Media and 25 Madison and Shopify. You're about to see 3 finalists compete live right here on this stage for prizes, including a $10,000 cash grand prize. Boy, has it gone up over the years. But first, let me introduce our judges. Our first judge is the Merchant Success Senior Lead for Spotify, where he and his team focus on helping high-growth, high-volume merchants scale their businesses on the Spotify platform. Please give it up for Mr. Jason Brown. All right, next we have someone who is already an Atlanta legend. We know her restaurants as Slutty Vegan, and we know her as the one and only Pinky Cole. Our next judge had an illustrious career since graduating from Wharton, including serving as personal aide to President Barack Obama. He is now senior advisor for Apollo Global Management and one heck of a basketball player, Mr. Reggie Love. Next up, we have the director at Venture Studio 25 Madison, where she invests in and builds early-stage companies. Please welcome from 25 Madison, Director of Business Development, Sarah Raffa. And our final judge needs no introduction, so please welcome the founder, chairman, and CEO of Operation Hope, Mr. John Hope Bryant. And we begin with contestant number 1. It's Megan Graham of Rise. Megan?
And before we get started, by the way, isn't she great? Before we get started, thank you, Megan. For $130 million over 10 years, we're gonna get your name right. It's Shopify, not Spotify. But I did that, by the way, myself, too.
Perfect. Well, thank you for the introduction. It's nice to meet all of you, and it's nice to be here with you all in person. My name's Megan Graham, and I am the founder and CEO of Rees. And I'm excited to be here and tell you more about Rees, but I'm also excited to tell you a little bit about myself. So I've worked in fashion and beauty marketing for the last 12 years, most recently as the beauty marketing director for Vogue. And early in my career, I was traveling all the time for work, but I could never find the hair products that I use in a travel size. So I would do this funny thing of going to the corner store, buying a little plastic container, and I'd fill it up with my Miss Jessie's and my Diva Curl. I'd throw it in a Ziploc bag, throw that in a plastic bag, throw that in my luggage, and then say a little prayer that it wouldn't leak everywhere, which, spoiler alert, it always did. And so that's why I started Rees. To me, Rees is the freedom to take care. We're making reusable, leak-proof, dishwasher-safe, travel-sized toiletry containers made of FDA-approved earth-kind materials. So like I said, the old way, really leaky, often made of virgin plastic, not inherently reusable. But with Rees, we've re-engineered how these bottles are made. They're completely reusable, airtight, leak-proof, and we have a pre-labeling system, so there's no more playing what's in that bottle, which is not a very fun game to play. And why does this matter? Well, the toiletry container market is a $29 billion market, and most of those containers are inherently one-time use and inherently always made of virgin plastic. But we know consumers today want to pay for sustainable products, and they want to buy from companies making a positive environmental impact. Not only that, but we are here in person today, and I know Lance said that before. This is incredible. For me, it was one of the first trips I've taken since the pandemic, and getting on that Delta flight felt so good. And we know people are ready to take vacations again. We haven't launched yet, I should first say that. We haven't launched, but we still get about 400 unique views to our website every month of people who are organically searching for reusable travel bottles. So there's nothing in the market that is like ours that exists today. So like I said, we'll be launching later this year, and we were lucky enough to be part of the 2021 Sephora Accelerate. So we'll be launching in Sephora next year, and I'm so excited about that. And as a pre-launch brand, to have secured your first retailer and distributor is just an amazing feat, something I'm very proud of. The key to our success with Sephora is partnerships. So working with brands like Briogeo, Verb, or Supergoop with products that people already know, they already love, and these brands want to be part of the plastic waste solution for the beauty industry. Long term, our plan is to work with hotels. We're already working with some boutiques in New York City to be the plastic solution for the hotel space and that hospitality space. We are a small but mighty team who has been working tirelessly for the past 2 years on bringing this to life. From myself in New York to our product and supply chain team in LA, from our graphics and social team in Toronto, and our legal counsel in Miami, which is very important. And so far the press is loving us. I think that Elite Daily said it the best. Rees creates reusable travel bottles, which are a must for everyone, and I could not agree more. Thank you so much for being with me here today and virtually. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you. Are we doing questions or no? Okay. Yes? Okay, sorry. Okay, questions.
Hi. Talk to us about what your supply chain looks like, and if your long-term plan is to become your own co-packer and build your own manufacturing studio, or do it overseas.
Yeah, right now we are producing in China, so I like to say we're producing responsibly in China, and then we have a warehouse in Los Angeles. So we have a third-party logistics company that we work with, as well as this warehouse on the West Coast. So everything's kind of done through China and the West Coast. I think long-term, I think that's part of our partnerships plan, is really working with companies. We've already had interest from a lot of different beauty companies who are interested in packaging with Rees and really being part of that kind of circular economy when it comes to reusables.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you so much. That was a great pitch. I'm excited to be a customer soon. So I'm wondering, as you probably know, the beauty industry is very crowded. And so how do you think about building a competitive moat and keeping other customers from coming in and offering a similar product?
Sure. Well, I think so we've patented our product. The design is patented and utility patented, which is really, really key for us. But I think, to be the first in the marketplace is really important. And I think what we're doing in the beginning is really growing that brand awareness and affinity. I think also having Sephora, as a huge part of our business, someone who believes in us from the very beginning, they're going to work with us and continue to innovate, continue to bring new products. And I think also being in the hospitality sector is really key as well. So not only for consumers, but being a solution for B2B as well.
Great, thank you.
Sure. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you, Megan. And our next commentator is, our presenter, is Toby Smith from, and it sounds like me, All I Do Is Cook.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Toby Smith, and I'm the founder of All I Do Is Cook. In 2015, I left Lagos, Nigeria, and moved to Texas. And 3 weeks into my stay here, I got homesick. I decided to look for food that reminded me of home. During my search for this, I realized that African flavor, African cuisine was really difficult to access outside of Africa. Also, it was inconsistent and it was very inconvenient. So we decided to create a solution to this. All I Do Is Cook. All I Do Is Cook is changing the way African cuisine and African flavor is accessed and enjoyed all over the world. Our customers are every and anybody that wants to enjoy African flavor. We do this by sending African meals and condiments and products to doorsteps all over the US. We have quite a number of products across various markets, and these markets have a total value in Europe and America of $2 trillion. Of that value, we are looking to obtain $20 billion over the next couple of years. Currently, we operate a B2C model by shipping directly to doorsteps, and we recently just launched 2 of our products in stores in Houston. We have a pricing average order size of $114 per order with the orders that are placed online. And currently, since we started in 2019, we have shipped out over 8,000 boxes nationwide. That's totaling in $1.1 million in revenue. We have done all of this with $0 in marketing spend. As the founder, I am bringing 7 years of experience in the food and beverage industry to the table. My co-founder, Bethany, is a French-trained chef with knowledge of productization of these African flavors. And our CTO, Margaret, is bringing years of experience in e-commerce, tech, and product to the table as well. At All I Do Is Cook, we have really, really big dreams. And one of those dreams is to IPO someday. And currently, we have built out our own manufacturing facility in Houston, Texas, and we are looking forward to doubling our revenue in the next fiscal year. With the increase in attention to African culture, music, we are looking at the fact that we want to put this solution to the inaccessibility of African flavors on the center stage. And we are here with so much demand that's been overwhelming since we started, looking for the things that we need to do to meet this demand. Thank you so much for listening to this pitch.
Well, Toby, I want to say congratulations. This it's amazing, and it's making me quite hungry. Did you bring us anything? But my main question is really around customer acquisition. You've quoted some very impressive numbers on how many people have come to the site and have purchased on your platform. Have people been coming looking for a specific dish, or you've been able to find these individuals yourself through your own network and community?
We acquire most of our customers. As I said, we haven't done a lot of marketing. We've done all of this via referrals, word of mouth. And for some reason, we haven't been doing a lot of marketing just because we know when the marketing starts, the demand is going to be super overwhelming. We just moved into our own production facility in Houston, Texas, and we've seen an increase in demand as well. We've seen an increase in meeting up to the demand that we're getting. So what we're doing right now is we're trying to reward the customers with the referrals by rewarding them for each person that they bring. People come to the website to look for various kind of meals, and with Nigerians, a niche market, and people that want to try African flavor, they don't just want to try one thing. They always want to try a variety of options, and we have those options in snacks, pastries, we have ready-to-eat meals, we have soups, and we have condiments as well that are shelf-stable, so people just get supplies that last them for like 2-3 weeks, and then that it's a repeat order because at this point in time, we've taken care of one part of their lives, which is the food aspect.
Have you found that, this is fascinating to me, have you found that African Americans or Africans or Europeans or Latin Americans or Asians, I mean, is there any one particular ethnic group that you found that have been most fascinated with trying African food, or is it pretty democratic, everybody wants it?
Yeah, it's everybody wants it. We have curbside pickups in Houston, Texas, and I personally go out to see people that come to pick up, and every time we have people from all demographics come, they saw this, they want to try it, they want to see what it's like, and for some very interesting reason, just because of the quality of the products, we don't have a lot of stores that have these products available on the market. So everybody sees us as that source for these products. So people try them and they become repeat customers just because they have that one product or this other product that fits into their lifestyle. Yeah. Any more questions for me?
And what's, you're doing a lot of referral, what's the relative margin on a meal?
From production to getting them to the doorsteps of the customers, we're doing 42% margin. We're looking to actually bring that up and get it better, just so that we can have a good margin, a better margin, turn more profit. Because all since we started, we've been bootstrapped, and we've had to do the best we can with the little that we have up till date. So we're all about increasing those margins and making sure we're maintaining topmost quality at the same time. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Toby. And now, our final contestant, it's Tamika Strange of Capable Clothing.
Hello, my name is Tamika Norris, and I am a registered nurse and the owner of Capable Clothing. Capable Clothing is an apparel company that specializes in adaptive clothing for individuals with special medical needs and individuals living with a handicap. Working exclusively in spinal cord injury for the past 10 years, I ran into many obstacles that made my job difficult. Getting a patient up and dressed in many instances could take well over 30 minutes. After finally getting a patient situated in their wheelchair, I've had many patients tell me, I've got to use the washroom. So I had to lift the patient back in the air, put them back in bed, undress them, straight cat them to empty their bladder, and start the process all over again. I thought there has to be an easier way. So in 2011, I created the Capable Denim Pant exclusively for my patients. After searching the market for a similar product, I realized there wasn't anything on the market like my pant. So I secured the utility and design patent. In recent years, many designers have jumped on the adaptive apparel bandwagon without acknowledging the medical function that must accompany these devices, these clothing. The Capable Pant is the perfect balance of fashion and function. I made the pant lower in the front, higher in the back, for comfort and patient dignity. I've removed the back pockets to reduce skin breakdown. I've added reinforced lift loops, which assist in lifting, turning, and repositioning patients, which is a back saver for your nurses and caregivers.
Wow.
I've added paracord to the zipper pulls, which gives a person lacking fine motor skills the ability to zip and unzip the pant unassisted. I've added a false front that opens large enough to straight cap using sterile technique, change adult incontinence underwear, and empty implanted medical devices.
Wow. Wow.
My first small batch, thank you. My first small batch of pants sold out at the Chicago Abilities Expo, leading to reviews such as, if we could have given an award for the most mind-blowing invention, we would have given it to Capable Clothing. I am asking for $250,000 in funding to get these pants out to the underserved community that needs it most. The apparel industry is an $805 million industry with a projected growth rate of 1.8%. The adaptive apparel industry is a $50 billion industry with a projected growth rate of 2.3%. My plan is to increase online sales, develop strategic partnerships, and sell business to business. I am asking for $250,000 in funding to get these pants out to the underserved community that needs it most. My team is ready to bridge the gap between disabled and capable. Thank you.
First, I want to say thank you so much. That was an amazing pitch.
Thank you.
My question is really about who your customer is. Is it going to be the individual, or are you seeing the hospitals? Are you seeing the nurses? Like, who are you really targeting with this product, and how are you imagining that working as you move it forward?
That is an excellent question. When I developed these pants, I realized there was a twofold problem and a twofold solution. First of all, you have the nurses that are hurting their backs. They're filing workers' compensations claims for back injury. You have, then on the other side, you have the patient who have patient dignity issues, and also the risk for falls in hospitals from being transferred several times a day. My target has been the patient thus far because the patients are going to wear the pant. But it's a twofold issue, and if you add in the skin breakdown issues, it's also more so targeted towards the patient, so that's where I started.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a very great pitch. Will this be made available to children as well?
That is definitely on my list. At the Chicago Abilities Expo, that was the #1 ask. Do you have these pants for children? I literally had parents come up to me in tears and say, we need this product. So yes, one of the next things I will do would be a children's line.
Yes, you should absolutely do that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, that was great, and I love that it's built out of such a clear pain point. You're really solving a true problem, which is so important in an early business. My question is, can you talk to us a little bit about what early traction you're seeing? What do your sales look like? And then as you look forward to 2022, what metrics are you most focused on?
So thus far, I launched during a pandemic, which a lot of businesses have. But I saw a small window open during the Chicago Abilities Expo, where the city opened and the Abilities Expo says, you know what, we're gonna go forward. Great opportunity for a person with a great product, and I didn't have any pants. So I had the pants made immediately, shipped in, and so I sold out. I literally sold out. So that small test run is what I have to start with. As for traction, I'm building on social media, I'm building more clients, I'm getting more sales through my website. And as for the future, I'm patent pending on other devices as well. So I plan to just keep building the brand from a nurse's perspective.
Great, thank you.
I know we're short on time, but I was wondering if you had any thoughts on how reimbursability from the insurance companies would play into this potentially.
Yes, sir. So getting a number for FDA approval is something that I'm working on as well, and getting reimbursed. You have to get a code so that people can get reimbursement. Also working with the Veterans Administration is a huge goal for me to get these pants out to veterans that really need these pants.
Comment and question. Given that we're streaming, given that in this new world we're living in, limited audience here streaming around the world, and we're live, just was so happy that when you unzipped the front that it worked. Some of you will get that later. Where does your confidence come from?
My confidence I believe in this community.
No. What is your personal, not in your product?
Oh.
As I look in your eyes, I see confidence and maybe self-esteem too. Where does that come from?
From God, I don't know. It's just who I am. It's just who I am. Sorry, thank you.
Wow, the judges have quite a session to deliberate, and we have a few special partners. We are going to announce some commitments to 1MBB.
While you're doing that,
And?
we've got a special guest in the house.
Yeah.
He was in this house in 1967 when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. held his last annual meeting for SCLC as he pivoted to poverty. Dr. King met here with his team in 1967, a year before that fateful day in Memphis. The last meeting of Dr. King happened here with somebody in the room today. Join me in saying hello, thank you for your service to my personal hero, civil rights leader, icon, Ambassador Andrew Young.
Always good seeing the ambassador. And we also have others who are making a commitment. Melvin Coleman, Atlanta Black Chamber of Commerce. Are you here, Melvin? Okay, well, and David Harris, Greater Georgia Black Chamber of Commerce, and Drew Louder, President, iHeartRadio Atlanta, and Chris Ray, President. Oh, here they are. All right, thanks, guys. You're a little slow with the take, but you know, we'll take you whenever we can get you. All right? Chris Ray, President, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And we want to thank you all. Wait a minute, there's more people coming out. I didn't get the memo on you all, but thank you very much for joining us and also for making the commitment. Would you like to say? Yes, please, go right ahead.
Finally made it on stage at the Hope Global Forum. Man, good evening. My name is Melvin Coleman. I am the Executive Director for the Atlanta Black Chambers. Our mission, the growth of competitive, profitable, and sustainable Black-owned businesses. We achieve our mission with our events, activities, and programs, which provide the necessary access to critical resources, information, and relationships for entrepreneurs and small business owners, but also it provides the exposure that they need for their business and their brand. And so I'm super excited about the Atlanta Black Chamber's commitment to the 1MBB initiative. There's enormous synergy between Operation Hope and the ABC. And so when I look at the future, wait and see the greatness that we achieve through this collaboration. Thank you.
I'm David Harris with the Greater Georgia Black Chamber of Commerce, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge up front that my very first job when I was a scholarship student at the Padea School was with Mayor Andrew Young, and had it not been for him, I probably wouldn't be here now. Things have gone pretty well all those years ago. Thank you very much. I will keep it brief. I actually have the distinction of being able to represent two 1MBB partners, that is GGBCC and Sterling Seacrest Pritchard, which is the insurance partner for the enrollees who come in and need any kind of counsel and support. I'm very proud of that because, of course, insurance undergirds risk. So when our folks take a risk, I'll be glad to be there to help to protect them. I just want to say that the reason why we are fully supportive of this program is because, in our view, the future of Black advancement is in partnership more so than patronage. And we believe that that's a vision that all stakeholders can coalesce around, and we will do our level best and a little bit more to make sure that they do. Thank y'all.
Good evening, everyone. Drew Lauder with iHeartMedia, President, and run the Atlanta market here. Also brought...
Good evening. Namon Jones, Vice President, iHeartMedia here in Atlanta.
Wanted to thank everybody, and also, you know, I wanted to give a quick little story as I'm watching these people pitching and presenting their companies. You know, I come from entrepreneurship myself, and just wanted to kind of give a round of applause to them. It's really hard to come up and do this stuff, and they just did a great job. So, but that outline, that really is the example of why we want to do this. I mean, my personal commitment to entrepreneurship, but iHeart's as well too. With our reach and being one of the largest media companies here in the country, to be able to amplify what you saw here tonight and bring the spotlight to the Black business community is very important to all of iHeart. We've launched in New York, we're in Atlanta, we're going to roll this out across the country. We're committed to 10,000 job creation or Black business creations here just in Atlanta alone, and we look to grow that. So thank you all, have a great night.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thought I was in here by myself. I'm Chris Ray, International President of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Since 1924, the men of Phi Beta Sigma have been encouraging economic development through entrepreneurship and supporting the Black business in our local communities. For almost 100 years, with over 600 chapters that span the globe, we have reached over 1 billion people with our message of economic social justice. Our partnership with Operation Hope is a match made in heaven. Phi Beta Sigma has committed to helping Operation Hope meet the goal of 1 million Black businesses through our national North American network. We are committed to helping level the playing field for Black entrepreneurship, making sure that when someone wants to start their own business, they have the support they need so that they are not locked out of the American dream because of the color of their skin. Phi Beta Sigma men believe in the power of entrepreneurship, and we are ready to build 1 million Black businesses. Let's go build. Thank you all so much.
Give everybody a round of applause again, please.
I just have a couple of announcements related to 1MBB and wanted to come up here and thank this audience and thank you all for being here and supporting these wonderful people. This is an amazing opportunity for them, and it takes a lot of courage to come up here and talk about this. 1MBB has had an amazing journey over the course of this year, and we have really focused this year on infrastructure building, and we're so excited to announce that this will not be our first pitch competition. This will be one of many pitch competitions. So we will have another pitch competition coming soon in 2022, as well as an incubator program. We're so excited to have this opportunity, and really, as Chris Ray said, from Phi Beta Sigma, to level the playing field for Black entrepreneurship. So stay tuned. In just a couple of minutes, probably 30 seconds, we're going to find out who our winners are, and we'll give an opportunity for them to come back out on stage. So hang tight.
Just want to remind you all that after this evening, to be sure and be here on time tomorrow. Starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, the doors will open, and at 10 we begin the full program, and a lot of exciting people coming up, so be sure and be with us then. And then just on my own personal note, I know many of us realize we lost a great leader just a day or so ago, General Colin Powell. And please send out prayers for his family. I personally knew him being from Kansas. He was stationed in Fort Leavenworth for twice, and my dad was his barber. So I have known him the majority of my life, or I knew him the majority of my life, and this country has lost a great citizen. So please send out prayers for him and his family. Thank you. I guess we've got winners. All right, folks, it was incredible, was it not? All right, congratulations to those amazing business owners, and now we're going to hear who the winners are. Are they coming out? Here they are.
Here they are. The moment you've been waiting for. The big check. All right, for our $10,000 winner, Megan, come on out here. Megan is our $10,000 winner. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Do you want to say a few words?
Just thank you so much for having me here, for being a part of the One MBB. This is an incredible opportunity, and I think what you guys are doing is so important. Access to capital for Black business owners is really the most important first step. So I thank you so much, and just thank you to both of you. Your pitches were incredible, and I'm just honored to be up here with the both of you. So thank you.
All right, so go ahead and stand over there.
Okay. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. That's right.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amena Agbaje. I am the program lead for Black entrepreneurship at Shopify. I'm very excited to be here. We have a prize that we want to give away. We are giving away the... Am I doing the right thing here?
Yes.
Okay. We're giving away the Shopify Green Bag Winner Award, which is a full website redesign with one of our Shopify Plus partners, Parkfield Commerce. And we're giving this away to... I don't know the business name, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
All I do is cook. This is my fellow Naija boy. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
My apologies.
Thank you so much to the organizers of the event. This was great. This is amazing. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm sure my team back home is super, super delighted. We are so grateful, and we can't wait to see what everybody else here is going to be up to in the next couple of months. I believe everybody here today has amazing ideas, and we can't wait to meet each other at the top. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, I believe that John Hope Bryant has something to say.
First of all, is everybody glad to get out of the house? Are you glad to get out of the house? Isn't this beautiful? Come on now, the Bible suggests be hot or be cold. If you lukewarm, I'll spat you out. Translation, even God is not like mediocrity. Isn't this beautiful? My mother, who's in the audience, Miss Juanita Smith, has educated me, her and my aunties, on the unique needs of those who are getting older in their age. Not old, they're just getting more mature. And those needs are different. And my mother is an amazing, dignified embodiment of young at any age. And I was thinking about her as your presentation was being made. And it strikes me the only purpose of power is to collect it so you can give it away. And I was sitting here thinking about an venture that we created at Operation Hope called Hope Ventures, which I've never used. So today, Brian Betts, I apologize, my CFO, I've not told you about this. we're going to make a lead commitment of $50,000 against your $250,000. And we challenge other companies in this room and watching around the world, individuals who were compelled like we were compelled. That wasn't a black idea. That wasn't a white idea, an Indian idea, an Asian idea, a Latino idea. It wasn't a good idea or a bad idea. It was just a good, brilliant business idea that's untapped.
A great idea, and I also want to help as well.
Repeat that?
I said a great idea, and I also want to help her raise the $250,000 as well.
Wait a minute now.
And when we were backstage, I said, this girl is going to be a billionaire. And when I came here, I said, that's a $1 billion idea. So Slutty Vegan wants to commit $20,000 to that as well.
Oh my God. My God. My God. Oh my goodness.
So what we're saying is, on your way to $250,000, and as Dr. Dorothy Hyde told me, John, I like you because you're a dreamer with a shovel in your hands. I looked at you and you had confidence. You actually believed you were coming here not for $10,000, but for $250,000. I said you're at the wrong event.
In the name of Jesus.
But you obviously were at the right event. Your reach should exceed your grasp. So we are collectively committing at least $70,000 towards your $250,000. We can challenge other folks to match us to get to $250,000, and Hope Ventures is going to help you raise the rest of the money to the best of our ability.
I just want to say thank you so very much because I believe in this community so much. It's my heart, my patients. I believe in them. I believe in the dignity of the patients and the people who need this product. And I am eternally grateful to you all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Congratulations.
We have already a $20,000 match from Big Dave's Cheesesteaks. Awesome.
We can get behind him. Yeah. Come on. Look, and by the way, while all money's green and we accept anybody who's legitimate and honest, who wants to support what we're doing, it should not be unsaid that Black venture capitalists made this commitment today.
Thank you so much to our judges. Thank you.